still. I want to see what they do. But every now, I'll be hitting buttons on people, man.
Hey, you know what, man? I'm like BG. You know, just started live right away. Yeah. No, it's Fave. It's all good. I mean, you know, you're a consumer, you're a gamer. Nothing wrong being passionate, you know, about the things we love. So,
yes, sir.
Yep. Yeah. So, hey, what's up, everyone? This is podcast number 81 of the Basement Radio Arcade podcast, and we are live again. We have a special guest this evening. We have Fame Entertainment from the Inner Circle Network, and happy to have him on. Fame, thank you for joining us tonight, man.
Hey, man, no problem, man. What's going on, people? Yes, I am Fame ENT from the Inner Circle Network. I actually host a podcast that ends right before you guys start every other Wednesday. That is our debate show, the Double XP podcast, where we debate and have fun. Two guys, two girls, two Xbox, two PlayStation gamers. We go at it, we have fun. But thank you guys for having me on. I know we've been trying to get me on for a while and scheduling conflicts here and there, but I'm happy to be here, and I am ready to talk and possibly piss off a few people. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming getting you come on, man, but we're happy to have you here.
Yeah,
much appreciated, brother.
We're big fans of the Inner Circle network. Obviously, you know, B Money's one of our co-hosts. We had two of the Iron Lords who just joined, and you know, the Iron Lords podcast just joined the Tick Network. We had two Iron Lords on last week, so you know, it's been nice having the Tick fam the last 2 weeks. So
yeah, man, we're growing. Our goal eventually is just to take over the world. So
that's what you guys are doing.
That's what's up, man.
You guys are already taking over the world.
Doing our best, man. We're trying to pink in and brain this thing. I'm the brains.
Cal's
Cal
on
Pink.
Cal's on that general. He on that General Zod tip, taking over.
Yeah.
Oh, it's too funny. E, what's going on, man?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling. Just, yeah. I can't be shaking like that, man. I'm ready, man. Let's go. Let's talk about these games. Like Fame said, we might piss some people off, but you know.
Oh man, that could be a possibility.
No,
it's honest talk. It's from the heart. It's because many of us here are passionate gamers, have been gaming for a long time, and just look, it's just passion. It's not hate. So, real quick before we get to our topics this evening, I would like to talk about what everyone is playing right now on their respective consoles of choice, and we'll start with our guest this evening. Fame, what are you currently playing right now, man?
Currently, I am trying to get my life in order with Lawbreakers. I actually absolutely love the game. It's just I'm having issues playing solo because there's no game chat. So it's like every teammate I end up with are freaking idiots. And I don't have very many friends playing it as well. I can get big money on every once in a while, but I'm currently playing Lawbreakers. Once Friday hits, I'll be on Madden heavy. I told people a while back on Twitter I'm probably going back to competitive Madden. That's what I did. That's what I did before I really became I guess you can say a real gamer. All I did was play Madden. I was on the competitive scene for a long time, and then I stopped and I started, you know, indulging into actually gaming. But I think I'm going to begin to get back into the competitive scene of Madden. That'll be when it drops Friday. It'll probably be Friday at night because tomorrow I'll be headed to QuakeCon. So I'm going to spend the next 4 days at QuakeCon playing all types of games on PC. So I'll be all over the place. But as of right now, Lawbreakers, and it'll be Madden 18 on Friday.
Nice. All right. Yeah. I'll be there with you with Madden 18. It's the first time I've picked up a Madden game. Jeez. It's been years.
Well, it's a good thing because it seems, I mean, they did add the Frostbite engine, but a lot of stuff in Madden doesn't change. You have to wait like every other year. Like some people's theory is to buy every even game. So like Madden 19, don't buy it. Madden 2020, that's the one you buy. Like you have to skip it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what people say. Like this, you know, the even years are the years you want to get in. This will be a good year to grab it.
Yep.
Well, I've heard some positive things about the they have like a career mode.
Yeah, but you're gonna be pissed off. Some things that I've seen and heard, I'm not too excited about it. I expected a 2K style. You know how 2K does their story mode or whatever the case may be. I expected that. It's not that.
It's not that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's they're pretty much gonna try to force you to buy a Madden 19.
Oh, they're putting the finesse in there.
Yeah. It's like,
finesse mode.
It's like you start off like high school player, and then it's like find out where you go at Madden 2019.
Like for the people, I mean, I don't want to spoil people, but for the people who you don't want to hear, like, put your finger there, go la 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 for a few seconds, but you're not playing in the NFL in the career mode.
What?
You don't like. You have to. You're gonna pick up on that, like, most likely Madden 19, but you never make it to the NFL. Like, not that you wouldn't, but that's what the story is. It's gonna cut off before you get to the NFL.
Once again, the stars align on a Wednesday. And once again, it is time to commence the Basement Radio Arcade podcast.
So, John,
I wish you a scathing defeat, but tonight I wish you a bit of luck.
Oh my God! It's Fame. Have you played Pyre yet?
No, not yet.
That's the voice that John's doing right now. Is the voice of, I guess I don't want to say he's the Overlord. I don't think that's his name. What's his name, John? The guy in Pyre who does that.
It's the Archbishop.
Okay. John, you were botting, by the way.
Am I botting?
Yeah,
just a little bit.
All right, hold on. I'll be right back.
Oh, I thought I'd be called a bot first.
Yeah. So that's it. Pyre is so Pyre just came out a couple weeks ago on the PlayStation 4.
Yes, you know what? I was convinced by Jack Move.
Again, you ingrates.
He's back. Oh my!
Hold on, I got the podcast going back. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm here. I'm not going to be here for the whole thing, but I am here. I am here for as long as I can. So.
No, John, we appreciate it. It's always a pleasure to have you on, man. I know Wednesday nights are a little tough for you, man. So
like, you know,
like
I'm tired, and I was watching. I was listening to the podcast for a minute while I'm playing Uncharted Lost Legacy, and I saw you landing 3 people. I was like, oh fuck, I can't leave it hanging like that. But hey, I'll be right back. I'm going to grab a beer. I'll be back in about 10 seconds.
All right,
yo, give me one.
No. For real.
I've only got one left.
So Fame. So we might be disappointed. Then it sounds like in this I guess single player story for Madden.
Yeah, that, and then as well some of the things that I've heard and seen is we all know they switched over to the Frostbite engine, but it's not like 100% Frostbite. Like it's a Frostbite engine, but you're not really going to see like the major difference you expected. Like you would expect. It's going to take like another year for it, maybe to really grasp being on that engine. It is a change, but it's not that big of a change that people are expecting. If you like I said, hopefully people got EA access and are able to play it and feel for themselves. There is a change, but it's not that big of a change we expected. But at the end of the day, it's still a good Madden game.
All right.
Yeah, I hear like that. The running game is much improved, passing game is much improved. So
I think if they'll been able to call out the mic, that's going to get a lot of people screwed up. If you already know about football and you out here trying to call out the mic and you get that person wrong, you're going to get sacked almost every time.
Oh Lord,
that's extremely important to try to call out the mic. If you call out the mic, you're going to get your offensive line to move in that direction. They'll shift. You'll get everybody picked up. But if you call out the wrong mic and you got your left tackle push coming in instead of actually going out and pick up the edge rusher because you picked at the strong side linebackers, the mic. You get that wrong, you're going to get lit up because that's pretty much nothing you can do. So I think that's a great added feature, but a lot of casuals who don't know about really football and can recognize and dissect coverages, they're screwed if they try to mess with the mic.
Hey, Enrique.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm back. I wanted to tell you, what if every single time from now until however long we're going, what if every single time I came on the podcast, like we heard this? Once again, it is Wednesday night. The stars are all in alignment. And once again, the neutrals have gathered to commence the rites.
Oh, God. Dude, that would be hilarious. Yeah.
Fam, you got to get in there prior, man.
Yeah, you got to get the pyre fame. So
man, Jack Mood got me on it, so he was telling me about it before. So
you can't appreciate that voice until you actually play it.
Yeah. It's John. It is spot on. It is spot on. It's hilarious.
That's just like this is the funniest shit, dude. Like once again, we are here to talk about games. I can't take myself serious. Don't listen to ingrates like Crack Gamer. He will lead you astray.
Oh man!
All right.
Oh man, that is funny, man. That is too funny. So Eric, what are you currently playing right now, man?
I just started on Lost Legacy last night, and I haven't got too far into it, so I'll be jumping back on that when we're done tonight. And between that and Breath of the Wild, that's keeping me pretty busy.
Nice, very good.
And like we're just saying, I'll probably be picking up Madden for the first time in probably 4 seasons.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you get it on Xbox, come get this work, fam.
We're supposed to have our league going, so I already know. I said,
Oh yeah, every
league needs somebody for the practice squad. So
I'm finna go 16-0.
So I gotta get my bearings back. I'm gonna try to give you some comp though. But you and B, I already know that's where it probably is gonna end.
Yeah, I already called B out on Twitter. I'm like, let's do it. I'm probably getting my ass handed to me on Madden because I haven't played in years.
You got to get in that lab, man.
Yeah, I need to. So, is that it, Eric, in terms of games?
Yeah, for now, those will keep me busy for a bit, especially Breath of the Wild.
Absolutely. All right, awesome, man. And John.
Well, I've already got my 120-something hours in Breath of the Wild, and I'll probably put in another 40, but I'm taking a break from that. Right now, I'm actually, at this very minute, I'm not on camera. One, because you guys can't handle that, and two, because I'm actually playing Uncharted: The Lost Legacy right now.
Nice.
Fantastic game so far. Visually, pound for pound, I actually Jeff from Superform Gamescast, which of course goes live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys can catch us tomorrow night. He says that, like, pound for pound, like scene for scene, it's the best looking game he's ever seen, and I kind of tend to agree with him.
Really?
I think it's better looking than Uncharted 4. I don't think it's better looking than, say, like everything exists on a spectrum, right? So, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it looks better than, like, Horizon Zero Dawn, because what Horizon Zero Dawn does with its visuals, you have to figure given that it's a huge open world, it's more technically impressive, right? Having said that, like, if you're talking like a single player, like, linear campaign game, this is the best looking game I've ever seen. There's no doubt about that at all.
Yeah, so I agree with that. With that kind of that perspective.
Yeah, I mean, you have to look at it in context. So.
Yeah. No, that I agree with that, because I did see him tweet that out. I'm like, well, I kind of disagree. I was like, and I said Horizon Zero Dawn, but you brought up a great point. I mean, within context and it being a single player game, then I would certainly agree with that. Yeah, it's a beautiful game. I mean,
no, I don't mean to cut you off. I was just going to point out, like, how Naughty Dog just goes in on detail. Like, there was just a scene, like, in the very beginning of the game when you're in, early parts, and there's like a little puddle on the ground, and I happen to walk close to it, and there's like reflections of the buildings, like, as you move in this one little puddle. Something I probably would have most times run past. I just happened to see it, and I was like, that's crazy.
What's interesting, like, like the little details that we notice in games. And honestly, like, I feel like the game I've noticed with the most impressive little details out in the world is Breath of the Wild. There's some really, like if you if you strip down your underwear and you walk into somebody's house and wake them up, they'll wake up and go, ah! You know, like, why aren't you wearing any clothes? Like, I mean, it's little funny stuff like that. And I mean, I could talk about Breath of the Wild all day. But aside from that, I'm also playing Bravely Default on 3DS. I'm kind of sad that I slept on that game for so long because, you know, I love JRPGs and it's fucking fantastic. And next week I'm going to be living that Mario plus Rabbids Battle Kingdom life.
Oh yeah, that's right. The drops
what a year for games.
What a month for August. I mean, this is incredible.
Hey, this will go on record as one of the This will go on record as one of the greatest years for games in gaming history. Certainly the past.
For some of us.
Oh, dude, there's something for everybody here.
Oh, I mean, like some people who limit themselves to one platform because they're, I don't know,
idiots.
Particularly working for one of these companies. I feel bad for them.
Oh yeah,
they had a bad year.
If you're a corporate slave, this is probably a terrible year.
So what you're saying is, if you're a gamer, you have a, you know,
if you're a gamer with an appreciation for all games and all platforms, this is the best year to be a gamer in years. You know, that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and there's still some other big titles coming out.
Because the game of the year is not even out yet.
Which game is that?
South Park Fractured Butthole, sir.
Tell you what, you heard that game got delayed again, right?
What?
Yep, December.
Oh, are you serious?
All right, guys, this has been the Basement Radio podcast. Are you serious, dude? Oh my God,
I'm 100% serious. It got very quietly delayed again. I'm telling you right now, that game is in trouble.
Wow.
Yeah.
That game is in trouble, just like Crackdown 3 is in trouble.
I have that game paid off. I've been paid off for the longest at GameStop, and I can't. Every time I'm so close to it, it gets taken away from me.
Oh, that sucks. I didn't even hear about the delay. I knew it was delayed before. I didn't know there was another delay.
Yep, once again.
Wow.
Well, I'm looking online. I don't see anything about a delay.
It's been floating around on Twitter. So yeah, I'll see if I can pull something up for you.
Yeah, if you can, just link it.
My understanding is that the game has been delayed again.
I'm gonna need y'all to hold me while I cry if it's been delayed again. Hold me.
Let me see.
And I'm a big man too, so I'm gonna need you to hold wide. Check the moms out, G.
Yeah, but gentlemen, I agree with that though. This has been since I can remember. I've been gaming for like decades. This has been a phenomenal year in gaming. Yeah, I can't remember a year like this. I mean, the January kicked off with a bang, and then February, March, and then now we're in August, and there's still a bunch of games coming out this month. We still have the new Yakuza coming out, which
that's I'm still trying to get through Zero.
Yeah, I'm still trying to get through Zero, but Zero's on the back burner again because I picked up Uncharted Lost Legacy.
Yeah, it's like a great thing.
No, I said then I think Hellblade is one of the best experiences.
Oh, facts.
This year, like just it's not the longest game. It's not the most deepest combat game, but just the story, and it's something we've never had in gaming before. Actually, going in deep with with psychosis like that, amazing.
Talking about Hellblade?
Yes.
Hellblade is my well, I'll tell you right now, Hellblade is not just my game of the year so far, it's my favorite game of this generation.
Nice.
Because I
respect that.
Well, I actually deal with I have mental illness. So when I see a game that tackles the subject with as much poise and respect as Hellblade does, I mean they brought in not just psychologists, but hold on, I should probably turn my volume down because you guys can Uncharted going. Not just psychologists, but also individuals who suffer from psychosis because they wanted accuracy. Yep. And you got to respect that,
Like the scenes where the bodies were hanging and she thought she saw them like moving or whatever. That was actually from someone who sees that, and so they put that into the game. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty
amazing.
It's what you were able to do with that game.
And if that game doesn't win like award upon award for like audio treatment.
Oh yeah, if you played it without a headphone, without a headset, you're missing out.
Yeah, no, seriously. This is one of the games where I tell people, a headphone is, almost literally required for this game. And there are some parts of that game where that's straddle the line between being a horror game, especially like for you guys who have been there, like some of those trials. There's one trial when you're in the dark, and I was like, Jesus Christ!
Oh, dude, that messed me up.
Yeah, no, you know what I'm talking about. And like she just stops and she says, "There's something in the room with me," and I was like, okay.
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't want to play this game now. I heard people say they get mental fatigue playing this.
It's very difficult to play.
It's draining, dude. It's draining. It is like, but it's a great feeling. But it's something. It definitely gets to you. Definitely.
I also this game has some of the most satisfying parries in any sword melee game I've ever played.
You genuinely feel, you like immediately start to connect and feel for that character, for Senua. You just do. It's just like if you don't, I don't know where your soul is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she's obviously, obviously she's disturbed. She has psychosis. And back then, that was a stigma. I mean, people obviously back in the Dark Ages, they did not understand mental illness as we do today. And it's just, it's a story about this woman trying to get her lover back from hell, and man, just what a phenomenal game. And by the way, if you go through, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but if you go through and you find all the lore stones, I got my platinum. You get a secret ending.
Oh yeah, I'm planning on going back through to get the plat because I missed like 3 or 4.
I missed 3, and I'm like, I'm not starting this and over.
It's an extremely easy platinum. I mean you can platinum the whole game in one playthrough if you know where all the lore stones are.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, I need to pick this game up.
I can't believe you're missing out, dude.
It's $30. You can't believe it's $30.
So, yeah, let's talk about that, right? Like, so like this is very much a full-throated AAA experience, without a doubt. And you're paying a budget price for it. And it's not because, it has been called the first independent AAA game, and that's exactly what it is. And that's because Ninja Theory published the game themselves. So you're talking about charging $59.99 or $29.99 instead of $59.99 because you don't have to pay publisher's costs. And it's a model that I hope other games follow in the future. And let's talk about, there's an interesting picture floating around today. It's a picture of one of the NPC's faces from Mass Effect, and it said team of 500 people, and then a picture of Senua, and it said team of 20 people. And when you have a team of 20 people, and Hellblade looks like it does, and it is one of the most graphically impressive games this generation by a long shot. There is no excuse for a game from BioWare with hundreds of people working on it looking the way it did.
We talked about this before the show. It's one of the reasons why I'm so pissed at Microsoft and 343, because you got they obviously have a first party games issue. You got a team at 343 of like 500 people. Why can't you break off 100 of those to go make a game? If Ninja Theory can make a game like Hellblade with 20, and 343 can break some people off, open up another small studio and make more games. That's something that just pisses me off, that a company like Ninja Theory can make such an amazing experience with such a small team.
Yeah.
Well, you don't need a 500-man team to make a great game.
Nope, you really don't.
Yeah, and this game pretty much flaunts back in the face of those who kind of like try to play down single player and say there's no value in it anymore. That's not what people want, and this and that. I think that's absolutely not true. I think if you rethink the model and how you go about it, it can still be valuable. You just have to rethink how you want to do it and actually make a commitment to doing so.
I agree with that 110%. And
stop with the finessing.
Yeah, I agree with what you said, Fame. I mean, a 20-man studio put out a phenomenal product, with obviously a limited budget, and they delivered. And John, like you said, I hope this is something that the rest of the industry kind of catches up on.
Oh man, I lost my breath. I just walked up on this amazing vista in Lost Legacy. I'm gonna post a.
Did you take a picture?
I'm posting a screenshot on Twitter right now. It looks like a fucking painting. It is nuts. how good this game looks.
Lost Legacy, is that 30? I need to cop that.
It's $39.99, and it's a full, from what I've heard, it's a full 10-hour Uncharted experience. Like, it's not the DLC.
This game does not feel like DLC.
So Enrique and Eric, go check out my Twitter feed. I just posted a screenshot on Twitter. Damn, this game is pretty.
Better check it out.
Yeah.
But you know, one more thing for me on Hellblade, I'm glad that people are like finding this game, enjoying it, because for the longest, you know, Ninja Theory has been one of my favorite developers, and I think they've been, you know, underrated by a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
You know, and they've, quite frankly, have always kind of delivered. I shouldn't say kind of. They've pretty much always delivered when it comes to a good single player experience.
Yeah, they've done what? Like, they've done Heavenly Sword.
Yeah.
What else? What else has Ninja Theory done?
They did
DMC.
Yep. Enslaved.
Yep.
You know.
And, man, Enslaved was a gem that deserved more than what it got.
Yeah, I want to go back and play that game again. It was underrated. Like, people completely overlooked that game. You know. So, but they've always been like a really good developer, like just kind of ahead of the curve on, you know, facial animation and good storytelling. So hopefully this kind of puts them even more so on the map.
Kind of debunks that notion of what you just said, or that what's kind of been going around, Eric, about, you know, how, you know, single player games aren't huge revenue generators anymore. They cost too much money, you know? And so, yeah, it's interesting because that was kind of floating around, then Hellblade drops. I'm like, meh.
But, you know, it also dropped at a good point where almost every game now feels like it has to be like 100-hour plus quest.
It doesn't.
Right? And there's a ground in there, there's a place in there where you can slip your game in, make it, you know, 8 to 10 hours, if that, you know, like I think Hellblade was 6 to 7.
I finished it in 7 to 8 just because I was taking my time.
Right, same here. But slip that in, you know, in that time frame with that price, and I think people are completely okay with that, because it doesn't mean that, you know, they can get more gaming in that way. Because some of these games take a huge commitment, and, you know, we all work, we all have lives, we all have other things that we have to do. So sometimes when you get a game that just has so much time that you have to invest into it, it almost feels like fatigue.
Well, that's another reason I like Hellblade, because it respects my time. You know,
exactly.
Like, there's a time and place, and don't get me wrong, I can pour hundreds of hours into a game. Like, I mean, you guys know how many hours I poured into the Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I mean, I had almost 400 hours of Bloodborne across 3 characters. It's fucking ridiculous. I played Final Fantasy 15. I have 136 hours in that. I have 120 hours in Breath of the Wild. I mean, I'll play a fucking game for over 100 hours. I probably had 700 hours in Destiny. But at the same time, you know, not everything needs to be, which is why, you know, I hear people say, oh, this game is too linear, it's too, you know, and I'm like, but you know what, not everything needs to be an open world collectathon. I mean, we need linear, story-driven experiences. And I don't care if a game is 3 hours or 10 hours. I don't judge a game's quality based on how long it is. At least not entirely. I judge a game based on whether or not it's fun, whether or not it engages me as a player. It's one reason that games are my favorite medium of entertainment, even above movies, because in games I'm an active participant as opposed to a passive observer. And if I'm playing something I don't care if it's 2 hours or 100 hours, I want to be engaged, which is why I loved Hellblade. It kept me engaged. I was interested in the story, and it didn't overstay its welcome. Had that game, look at Alien Isolation, right? Alien Isolation to me was an 8. Great horror game. I love the Alien franchise, but it was fucking 15 hours too long. Had that been a 7-hour game as opposed to a 22-hour game, I would have given it almost a perfect score. But there is such a thing as a game being too fucking bloated, too long. We call it padding. It's filler.
Yeah. You know, some games I would say they're welcome that way.
I kind of felt like that, although I thought Persona 5 was an excellent game. I kind of felt like that towards the end.
Hey, I know this is random, but have you guys seen this Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet? It looks amazing. I knew that was random, but it just came across my
what is it?
Screen. Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh God, I'm about to blow your. Oh my God, it looks so good. I might send it to you in the chat. I'm sorry, guys.
No,
a game that looks amazing just came across my face, and I just kind of
got a little excited.
Yeah, I gotta change my pants.
Enrique, this is weird. I just want to. I looked at the YouTube channel real quick, and it said 876 people watching. I was like, what the fuck? And I reloaded it, and it said 16. I don't know what just happened. For a minute there, I was shitting my pants. I was like, what?
You lost 800 people?
What the fuck?
Well, you know what happened is we started talking about video games, and those 800 people dropped.
Oh, my bad. All right, you Xbox ponies.
They wanted to hear us crucify Microsoft or Sony. They heard us talking about games. They're like, oh, we're out of here.
Well, you're not going to hear that from me, but then again, the Switch is the best console in the market right now. So.
Oh boy.
and catching up to stock, it looks like. So
yeah, it is.
It's gonna be interesting going into the holiday.
Yep, it sure as hell is.
Yeah,
I still think Switch takes the holiday.
I think it does too, John.
I think so too. I think so too.
With Mario Odyssey dropping, and if they keep those inventory levels, they'll take holiday.
I don't know, man.
No, they will. They absolutely will. For me, I don't even think it's a question.
Who do you think will take NPD November, December?
Here's the thing: if Nintendo keeps with this, we can't keep nothing we make in stock. They're not gonna continue. I mean, with the Switch is constantly out of stock in places, and that NES is constantly out of stock in places. And I didn't expect this. But the Xbox One X is actually picking up a lot of steam. And the more people who buy it, it's going to entice other folks to go out and buy it. I just got a feeling and new hardware always wins out.
That's not true.
It does.
That's not true. That is. I don't think that's true. I mean,
what was the last piece of hardware that came out that didn't take over the NPD for that month?
I mean, the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I will say, as somebody who has a PS4, I didn't feel I needed to jump to a PS4 Pro because I feel like my PS4 is just that good of a console. So it's a bigger jump going from the OG Xbox to the Xbox One X. It's almost like a whole new console.
I just want to interrupt. We're going to interrupt quickly. So we could. This is actually a perfect segue into our first topic about the Xbox One X outselling PS4 Pro. But go ahead, guys. Finish your discussion because I'll get into the whole Amazon thing here in a little bit.
Well, I was actually going to bring that up, Enrique, but I don't want to bogart it from you. So why don't you go ahead and introduce that, and I'll tell you how people should be breaking that down.
All right. So actually, this is something that I saw Z Huge tweet out. Big shout out to Mr. Z Huge. He said that Xbox One X pre-orders seem to be doing well on Amazon, already ahead of PS4 Pro on Amazon US for 2017 year to date. Looks like under Amazon bestsellers, you'll see Xbox One X Project Scorpio Edition at 66, and you'll see PS4 Pro at 90.
See, what you're going to hear a lot of people say, well, Amazon, you don't have to pay it down. People are just going to get it and cancel their orders. Even for the people who do that, I don't think it's enough to warrant saying, oh, it's not still probably outpacing the PS4. I think it's still going to, I think majority of those Amazon pre-orders are still going to go through. I think the notion of people saying, oh, people are just going to, everyone's just pre-ordering it just to be jerks and cancel it when it's time to come to the money's coming. I think that's a silly straw man type of argument. It's almost like that's a bit of a damage control type argument. I think a vast majority of people who pre-order on Amazon, they're actually going to go through with their order. I don't see everyone just canceling their order.
I agree, but here's what people aren't realizing. Here's what people aren't stopping to think about. So take the Pro, right? Like, I think the Pro probably sold more in its first week than it has all year. Because it's like, I have one, but I didn't need one. But it's a niche product. Now, I've always said, and you guys have heard me, Enrique and Eric, you guys have heard me say this. I've always believed that the Xbox One X is going to sell better to the Xbox Core than the PS4 Pro did to the PS4 Core. I believe that. But having said that, let's take a few things into context. One, for example, I've heard a lot of people say, well, the Xbox One X is number one on Amazon right now if you look at the hourly sales. But what people don't realize is the hourly sales, those aren't sales, those are sales trends. So just because something is number one on the hourlies, that does not equate to sales whatsoever. Those are trends. Two, the Xbox One S is still going to vastly outpace the Xbox One X. Like that's not even a question to me. There are a lot of, I mean, yeah, it has outsold the Pro this year, and that's great. But the Pro is not a fucking sales monster by any stretch of the imagination whatsoever. I think the X by the end of this year, I think it'll have sold better than the PS4 Pro did at the end of its first year. There's no doubt about that. But next year, I expect sales to fall off a cliff, just like they did for the Pro, because again, this is catering to the core, and once the core have it, sales will slow to a trickle, because the mass market is not waiting for a $500 box. They're not. That's a fact, and people could say, "Oh, John, you're a fanboy. You're just downplaying the X." But I mean, and that's fine. You can say that, but it is what it is. That's a fact. The mass market is not waiting for a $500 console, and that is the problem that Microsoft has. Is in that every one of those people. Well, that's not a fair statement. Almost every one of those people who have pre-ordered an X, I guarantee you, are already Xbox fans who have an Xbox One Slim. They game primarily on Xbox, and they're going to trade in their Slim towards an Xbox One X. But by doing that, Microsoft is not expanding their core whatsoever. They are not growing. They are not expanding the brand. And growth is what they need. I don't like these iterative consoles. You know, I got a PS4 Pro because it made sense for me. I have a 4K HDR television. I thought, why not? I've got some money lying around. I can trade in my Slim. That's fine. But I am also a hardcore gamer who pours hundreds of hours into games. That's who I am. That's what I do. That I don't represent the mass market. The mass market, which makes up 85 to 90% of gamers, is a casual market that spends about 10 to 15 hours a week playing games. Those are the majority of gamers. I mean, hell, more gamers who buy games don't finish them than those that do. That should tell you everything you need to know about the core versus the casual crowd, or the mass market, as they are. You know, I've heard people say, "Oh, well, you know, the Xbox One X is going to help Xbox close the gap in the United States." That's ludicrous.
Yeah, that's a complete asinine. I mean, everything still was complete 100% fact. I mean, we will see that initial jump for Xbox when the X releases. But everything's still going to fall back to the Xbox One S, which I don't see why we don't see another price drop for the S around the holidays. I can see a $229, $199 console. Well, you know what? Where Microsoft screwed the pooch for me is that Minecraft console. $399. That was when I saw it, I was like, they're gonna sell. Their console's gonna sell like crazy when it comes out. When I saw the price tag, I was like, oh, never mind, it's not gonna sell.
And here's the thing that I don't get.
Like, who's that for anyway? I mean,
$400. Way too expensive.
So Minecraft, like, I love Minecraft, but the majority of Minecraft players are younger players.
Yep.
Nobody is going out to buy their kids a $399 console when they can buy them a $199 Xbox One Slim with no Minecraft. And by the way, I don't care what anybody says, that console's fucking fugly. I don't give a shit. It looks like
dude, I like it. I like it.
I think it's ugly.
I'm not a Minecraft person, so I look at it and I was like,
I think it's almost as bad as that Call of Duty Black Ops 3 PS4, which is just the worst abomination I've ever seen in my life. But you know, like, I don't see. But this is the other problem that Microsoft has, is that you've got a $499 box, you got a $500 box, right? The vanilla Xbox One Slim will almost assuredly be $199 this fall, right? So, am I going to spend $200 on an Xbox, or am I going to spend it? And am I going to take that extra $300 and buy games, or do I spend $500 on an Xbox?
If I'm a parent, I'm buying the $199 Xbox One S.
Yeah. I mean, shit, are you fucking nuts? Of course you are. I mean, that's not even a question. And people don't have to understand. Just like the Xbox One X, it's a powerful system, and I'm sure the games are going to look fantastic. I hope it sells well. I want every console to sell well. I do. And it looks like the Xbox One X is going to cater very well to the hardcore Xbox crowd. I think that's clear. But what people aren't stopping to think about is that the Xbox One X is hamstrung by the same drawback that the PS4 Pro had, that everything is going, like, all these games are going to have to run on the base Xbox One. And they're going to have to run well. So, you know, people say, you know, oh, well, you know, it's being held back by parity. Yes, it is being held back by parity, but it's not the PS4 Pro or the PS4 holding it back. It's the Xbox One that's holding the X back, because all these games have to run on the Xbox One S, and there are going to be 15 times more Slims out in the wild than there are X's ever.
John, I just want to say something real quick, kind of interject something.
Yes, sorry, I've been talking too long, man.
No, it's okay. It's no, I mean, you're making some great points, but I also wanted to just say something in regards to parity. We got to remember something. Game developers are going to focus on making the best versions of their games for the consoles that the majority of gamers are going to be playing that game on, and those are the, you know, the vanilla PlayStation 4s and the Xbox One S consoles.
So somebody said something in chat that I'd like to address, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead, man.
Stickfigure in chat says people will go where third games, I'm assuming he means third-party games, look better just like they did at the PS4. That is not why people bought the PS4 at all.
Okay, I just want to interject again. You know what? We always talk, like, I feel like, John, like we always go back to this point in history. Like, people think that the reason why the PlayStation 4 sold so well was because of that power narrative in the third-party game.
Absolutely not. It's garbage.
No, and well, I think that it was a small piece of it, but the bigger piece was the price point.
No, I think the bigger. It was a combination. It was two things. It was a combination of price, and it was and Microsoft's shit marketing. I have said for years that Microsoft were the ones who handed this generation to Sony in 2013. Microsoft did more to sell the PlayStation 4 than Sony did.
Yeah,
that's what they did. And they have continued that fine trend the entire generation because there's shit messaging. Microsoft's messaging this generation is garbage. It's shit.
John, real quick, we have Matt from also of SDGC and Nolan Nerdcast. What's up, Matt?
Hello.
Oh shit, dude! It's an SDGC takeover.
I wanted to save the best for last. Come in late, you know. Fashionably late, as it were.
That's fine. You do the same thing every Thursday anyway.
Yeah, it's true.
Hey, saving the best for last, man. Well, Matt, always a pleasure, man. Thank you for hopping on. And we're just talking about the if you saw the news about the Xbox One S outselling PS4 Pro on Amazon. If you look at the if you see the Amazon,
but I think that's pretty logical that would happen. You have a system that debuted last year versus a system that's debuting this year, and they're not taking in lifetime accounts. It's for the year of 2017. So I'd really hope the One X was outselling the Pro when you're taking a massive influx of pre-orders all at once.
Well, I mean, whole year versus one a couple of days. I didn't expect that. That's kind of big. That's a big.
This didn't really surprise me. I mean, if you're talking about an each console that caters only to, I mean, everybody. Which is this is the exact same reason why I said earlier before Matt came on that the Xbox One X sales are going to fall off a cliff next year. Not because it's a bad system, but because this caters to the core. And once the core have it, just like they did with the PS4 Pro, sales are going to slow down to a small trickle. It's
going to be a very front-loaded holiday filled, and it's going to. But you know what? It's going to make a lot of impressions. Going to make a lot of headlines. Microsoft's Xbox One X sells out. Huge sales, blah, blah, blah. And it's going to be during the ever-important holiday season that it almost won't matter that by February they drop off because they need to regain their mind share.
That's a great point. And come, you know, February and March and April, mind share is probably going to shift back to some of the other platforms because of some of the software content that's coming out early next year.
Early next year looks amazing. When you're looking at, you know, possibly Spider-Man PS4 coming out, you know, early in the spring next year, State of Decay 2 spring next year. Next year starts off with a bang, almost as good as this year did.
I'm hoping that 2018's the first half is looking really strong, and by all accounts, next year it won't be so one-sided on Sony's side.
I think unfortunately, I think Microsoft is in for another rough year next year. And I can't say this without sounding like a fanboy because that's just the era we live in. But I do. I think Microsoft is in for at least a rough first half of the year.
But they do have. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Matt. Go ahead.
No, please, you go ahead, Enrique.
No, I was going to say
games dropping.
Yeah, they got some games dropping. Yeah,
but I mean,
the difference. This year it was Voodoo Vince and Halo Wars 2, and that was the extent of the Xbox output for the first half versus the never-ending stream of Japanese and exclusives that PlayStation got, but that just won't be the case next year. It'll be a lot more evened out.
Yeah, but I mean, let's look at what they have in the first half of next year. Right? They have Crackdown 3, which I think is in a lot of trouble. There's Sea of Thieves, which I think is going to be a good game. It's going to sell terribly. And what else is there in the first half of the year?
State of Decay 2, which is one of my most anticipated games.
State of Decay 2, which I think is probably going to be the best of the bunch, easily. But yeah, I mean,
hey, did you guys see there was issues with that game too?
I haven't heard anything about that.
I heard something.
I'm sure. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about State of Decay. But I mean, guys. I mean, I think I think the writing's on the wall for Crackdown 3. I mean,
you gonna get that scale-bound treatment?
I don't think it's going to get scale-bounded, but I mean, apparently some people on Twitter are afraid that it's going to get canceled. But you know what I think? You don't think what happened with Crackdown 3? I think it was canceled, and I think they resurrected it after Scalebound was canceled.
Dude, Scalebound still hurts. Scalebound was that title for Xbox.
Scalebound
that was the one. That cancellation still hurts.
It hurts me so hard because the Xbox One is my least used of the 3 main consoles, just because for various reasons, my multi-plats go on PlayStation. So Sunset Overdrive was why I bought my Xbox One.
Great. Sunset Overdrive.
And Scalebound was going to be that next game where I pointed to my Xbox and was like, guys, you need to play this game. Like, I was so all in on Scalebound. I made a video last year, top anticipated games of 2017, and Scalebound was so high on the list. And the day after I dropped that video, they canceled it. It broke my heart.
Yeah, I just I don't.
Oh, Fastback made a point. Ori 2 is dropping next year as well.
Yeah,
the first Ori was an amazing game.
I think that's a 2019 game.
Yeah, Rand said the same thing. He thinks that that game doesn't show up until like 2019.
Yep, I am right. I am completely on.
And I kind of want to go back to the State of Decay thing. Like, I mean, I don't know if it's in trouble. I know.
Eric, real quick.
Yeah,
Eric, I'm sorry to interrupt you because we're discussing State of Decay 2. Corey D on the live chat said that Rand actually said that State of Decay 2 wasn't doing so hot.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised because, again, it's one of those things where you don't have to talk a lot about a game, but you need to talk somewhat about a game. And every time we see something from that game, it's the same clip or it's the same piece of it, and it got delayed. So I don't know. And again, I'm not a huge State of Decay person, so it's not one of the games I'm looking forward to. But I can't speak to other people, so I don't know how well that's going to be necessary. I mean, is it going to be like a fire game that everybody's going to be talking about and want?
I mean, let's think about what we know is coming. So we just, for Microsoft, we've discussed, we got Sea of Thieves, you got Crackdown 3, which I think doesn't look very good, and I think most people would probably agree with me. And then you've got State of Decay 2, which I haven't heard anything bad about.
And another Forza.
And another Forza.
The good Forza. The good Forza. The Horizon series.
I mean, think about what you got for PlayStation. You've got Spider-Man, you've got God of War, you've got the Shadow Colossus remake, which looks fucking phenomenal. I mean, it could be shit, but I don't think it probably won't be. It's Shadow of the Colossus. You've got what else is coming out? Oh, Days Gone.
Detroit.
I mean, next year is going to be another exclusive heavy year for PlayStation. And I mean, provided and any of those, I mean, they could all get delayed. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm going off what we know right now, and what I know right now is that Crackdown 3 getting delayed. I mean, where's the multiplayer? We still have not seen the multiplayer from this game. That's
the third delay.
That's the third delay. We have not seen the multiplayer. All anybody has talked about is the cloud computing and the multiplayer and how amazing it's going to be, and we have not seen it. We have not.
Hey man, but listen though. Here's the thing. According to Aaron Greenberg, we get hit with exclusive after exclusive after exclusive, so ain't nothing to worry about.
That was one of the most. that was one of the most ill-timed statements.
Remember the hyperbole. Remember the goofs and jokes that went around at PSX 2015 when I can't think of the dude's the host name, but he's like hit after hit after hit.
Hit after hit. Yeah.
That went on to like meme status all over the place, but we don't have it. But I wanted to jump on a comment real quick that I think Witty made in the chat. He talked about Scalebound. I said the same thing with Scalebound. I said if they didn't try to force the multiplayer part of it and just let Platinum make a single player game, which is what they're known for, like when is Platinum ever kind of shown that they can deliver multiplayer on that level? I think that game probably would have been better off.
Yeah, their bread and butter is a very tight and focused single player action game.
Right.
So they're from the big tier ones down to the smaller scale ones. From Bayonetta down to Transformers Devastation, it's single-player combat focused.
Right.
And that's unfortunately just a result of meddling from higher-ups who saw the trend of co-op and games-as-a-service games and online and tried to impose it on their big exclusives.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I always say is, so Microsoft doesn't want to do a game unless there's multiplayer in it.
So how do you guys think PUBG is going to do this on Xbox?
So that's exactly what I wanted to bring up. Stickfig again in chat with these comments I don't understand. Says all right, you don't want to talk about PUBG. Okay, let's talk about PUBG. If anybody thinks that anybody is going to run out and buy an Xbox One for PUBG, you've lost your fucking mind.
I'm not going to buy it for PUBG, but I think the Xbox base is going to buy that game.
Oh, sure, absolutely, absolutely. No, I have no doubt about it. But it's not about the base. That's what people don't seem to like. It's not about the base. Microsoft they're having a bad year. I mean, the Xbox just had their worst month of the entire generation. They sold about 80,000 consoles. That's terrible. They need to do something to expand the base because for whatever reason, and I don't know what it is, and we have had this conversation on this podcast trying to figure it out. I don't know why the Xbox One. I mean, it's just something ain't working. I mean, something at Redmond isn't working, and I don't know what it is because I'm not smart enough to tell you what it is. But something isn't working, and yeah, PUBG is going to sell well, but there are already 8 million people out in the wild playing PUBG.
John, I think the issue at Redmond is that they don't have that blank check like they used to anymore, and Phil's kind of he's got his hands tied behind his back, and they got to keep this thing profitable, and
yeah,
I think PUBG is an example of that. Like they found PUBG, they know it's a proven commodity. It's got 8 million gamers on the PC,
and it's coming to PS4. By the way, I don't know why people think it's not, but it is.
Yeah, it's only on Xbox exclusively right now because of the whole early access, and PS4 doesn't have early access, so we're looking at. What for? I mean, look at We Happy Few. It was only exclusive to Xbox because of early access, and I can see the same thing happen to PUBG. So we're looking at what, maybe 4-6 months.
Fastback 247 in chat says if PUBG marketed right, it could be a system seller. Absolutely not.
See, but here's the thing, John. I don't think it'll be a system seller in the sense of what we're used to, but if we have 8 million players of that game, and they haven't even touched consoles yet. I think during the holidays, if it comes out with enough time, word of mouth, it'll be one of those evergreen games. Like mine.
No. I get that. Like I see what you're saying. What I'm saying is that the PUBG is not the kind of game that sells PS4s or Xboxes. It's not. Nobody is gonna run out and buy a console, and that goes for PS4 too. If this was a PS4 game, nobody's running out to buy a PS4 for PUBG. They're not. They're not going to say, "Well, what is the game?" Like if this was on PS4, right? Like let's flip it. Let's say all the PS4 fanboys were like, "Well, PUBG is coming to PS4, motherfucking system seller, baby." I'd be like, so you're telling me that it's not Uncharted that would have somebody go out to buy a PS4. It's not God of War. It's PUBG, a fugly fucking game, that runs like crap. That's what people are going to... Yeah, I get that it's fun, but no, people are not going to run out to buy a PS4 for PUBG, and they're not going to run out to buy an Xbox for PUBG. They're not. Like, I think people are overestimating... I mean, like just today on Twitter, I can't remember what his name was. He's some fucking idiot. But he says, all the PS4 fanboys are salty about PUBG. Maybe they are. Maybe they are salty about P4 or about PUBG. But I'm like, okay. I mean, I've got a PC right here. I got a perfectly. I can go play it on PC right now. If I'm like, I don't own an Xbox One, but I can go play it right now if I want. Like I've lost nothing, so I don't know. Maybe I just don't get the hullabaloo around PUBG. I get that it's a cultural phenomenon right now, and I can appreciate that. But
if I could counter that, I would say that while it's not going to be the singular reason people go out and grab an Xbox, I think coupled with the launch of the One X, you're going to have this scenario where people are trying to decide, do I want PlayStation 4 or do I want Xbox? And then they see that this game they can't stop hearing about, and they don't. Everyone's talking about on Twitch and Mixer and everything. Oh, it's only on Xbox. It's that addition
or PC.
But when people are going to buy a console, it's not usually because they have a gaming PC or care about a gaming PC.
but again, I'm
not counting them because the people that game on PC aren't going to be caring too much about which version they get.
I know
that every holiday are looking for a brand new system, and I think that is going to be a factor.
All I'm saying is that when I think system like console seller, I think like Halo or Gears. I don't think, man, you know what I really want to do? You know what would really sell me on an Xbox One X would be if I could like run around in my underwear with a bonnet on and sit in a field of flowers for 10 minutes while everybody else kills each other and then maybe get a headshot. That's what sells a console for me. Like, no, it just I don't see it happening. I really don't. Like,
hey guys, really quick, if you, I'm sorry,
no, dude, go ahead.
I do apologize, but I do have to actually leave the podcast. Happy wife, happy life type of situation. But I thank you guys for having me on. I would love to come on and do this again. Because you guys are right after my podcast, so definitely, you guys, if you guys willing to have me on, I'm definitely willing to come on again. Right after I finish shooting Double XP, I am more than welcome to come on.
No, absolutely.
And chat with you guys. Make sure you guys subscribe, hit the like button. I see like 30 people in here, and it's like 30 likes in. So make sure you guys smack that like button because like lives matter. And I'm a bounce about it, man. You guys have a great one, man. Take it easy.
All right, man. Thank you, man. See you, man. All right, Matt, you were saying something.
Oh no, I was just saying one other thing that I want to give Microsoft credit for is they're never going to win the Japanese hearts and minds. And they're never going to be known as the console with Japanese games, but they made a very big get in making this new partnership with Bandai. Getting these multi-platform games that normally wouldn't be multi-platform, like the new Code, like all these anime games that traditionally only go to PlayStation. They're getting Code Vein. They just announced that they're getting their very first Sword Art Online game. They're the marketing partner for the Dragon Ball FighterZ game. This is the kind of stuff that makes a difference overall, because that's usually the platform where they would be passed over. And I think that's just another good thing that I need to give them credit for, because having Bandai as a partner means you get all those weeaboo fans. That's all I got.
Let's get my ass kicked in Uncharted.
No, Matt. That's a great point. I mean, they're certainly making some inroads in that regard. I think obviously, I think the one place that they're having issues with, we've kind of beat this horse, is first party stuff. Fame earlier was saying why can't they break up 343 and take like 100 guys and make another game.
Well, I mean, like this time, like if we're on the subject of exclusive games, let's stick figure again in chat. You left it off your 2018 games list, John. It's a little convenient. You do that at systems. You do that system sellers are not. Well, first of all, it's not a 2018 game. It's a 2017 game, and second of all, it's not exclusive. So there you go.
All right. The other thing I wanted to say too is, let me ask you guys. So who's? John, you didn't pre-order the Xbox One X.
No, I'll try to win one via Taco Bell, but I'm not interested in getting one.
I did.
I've got too many games to play.
All right, Matt, you did.
I did.
All right, Eric, you did not, right?
No. I said I'm waiting either way, but either way, even if I was going to do it now, I would wait until the non-Scorpio version drop.
Part of me has got it ordered just in case, because what I like about pre-ordering systems is I can decide until the launch day whether I want to commit. And then if I don't, I can find a friend that wants it and transfer it to them, or I can flip it, depending on what I'm looking at. So, but I like to at least have the option.
Yeah, actually, I was gonna get it, then I decided not to, and then hey, John, Stick Figure says you're dead wrong.
Yeah, well, I'm not. So.
What is he? I don't know what he's talking about here.
I don't know what he's talking about either. If he's talking about it being an exclusive, no, buddy, it's out on PC right now. I've got it on my computer. And also, it is 100% coming to PS4. Like, that's not even a question. It is a console launch exclusive, and every time Xbox has used that language, it means timed exclusive. That's what it means. So there is no way. I mean, the PS4 user base right now is well over 60 million. They are not. They are not going to ignore that. Sorry, but they're not.
Yeah,
I would mention the Stick Figure that he keeps talking preview in 17 like that counts, but that's when a game launches in early access on a platform.
It's there. Like it's
the launch for that game. No one's going to say Ark Survival Wars wasn't on Xbox for the last year and a half just because it's just now launching. Once it's on a system, it's on a system. We Happy Few and Ark have been on Xbox for a year, and now they're coming to PlayStation because early access is over.
Yep. So, I mean, Matt hit the nail on the head. So, Stick Figure, sorry, buddy, but you just don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And I want to Fastback said with the Xbox as publisher, no guarantee going to PS4. We've seen. Look, you guys remember Rise of the Tomb Raider? Microsoft published that game, and it came out what, a year later?
Mm-hmm.
PS4.
Yeah.
So
no. I mean, the game is 200% coming to PS4.
Yeah. So
now, the question is, by the time it comes out to PS4, based on whatever deal they've made with their increased partnership, will it matter?
I mean, I'm not going to buy it just simply because it's like I've played it for about 5 or 10 minutes on PC, and I'm like, okay, it just doesn't interest me. Like, I'm a JRPG guy. Like, I don't give a shit about player. Like, no, thank you. So maybe that's why I don't know. Maybe that colors my opinion of why I don't think it's a system seller. I genuinely don't think it is, but it also simply does not appeal to me one bit. Like,
I think it will move systems, but I don't think, like you were saying, like I kind of agree with what you're saying, but I don't think it's going to be like that killer app that's going to, like, where everyone's like going out and.
It's not going to be the sole reason people buy it in that regard of it being a system seller. I just think it's going to be that one more thing on the way in which one I get side. It's like no one's going to say Nier Automata is a PS4 system seller. But when you place it alongside all the other exclusive games that came out in early 2017, it creates a portfolio. And that's ultimately what leads this. I think we're done with the age of the one game being a system seller, and it's now what's your portfolio? Mm-hmm. And I think PUBG, for the extent of its exclusive period, will be that for Xbox, as long as it continues to be this cultural phenomenon. That's how I view it.
All right.
Do you think there's like an importance around diversifying the portfolio, like Lord Kabatsu was saying in the chat, like they're making that push for a very third-party games and very things.
It's the same reason
I was not at all surprised when Microsoft was going after PUBG. I'm like, and I kind of made the joke like, oh great, not oh great, but I said that's cool. I said the shooter, to round out their problem for multiplayer shooter games.
I'm not saying it's not smart for Microsoft to go after it. I mean, it's an incredibly popular game. I don't understand why, but it's an incredibly popular game. I mean, yeah, I'd go after it too. But anybody who thinks that game is a fucking Xbox exclusive is lying to themselves. I mean, it's already not an exclusive. There's fucking 8 million people. That's why it's like, dude. Oh, it's an exclusive. There's fucking 8 million people playing it on PC right now.
Well, this goes back to what Corey was just saying a moment ago. He said, let's not kid ourselves. A lot of it is list war.
Of course it is. Dude. It's just like, oh, my list of my games is better than your games. Well, right, my dick is still bigger than all y'all, so that's fine.
Oh my goodness.
That's not what Dick said.
Oh.
You understand that if you're talking sexual matters with my wife, I'm going to have to end your life.
I mean, I don't know why Eric would say something like that.
I don't know. Yeah,
are we talking
Throw
it
under the bus.
We're talking dueling pistols and paces.
No shit. Yeah. No, more like pillow over the face, middle of the night.
I think that's fair. More like a rousing round of 1-2 switch.
Yeah,
that sounds sexual.
Oh my god! All right, so you know,
I want to address something with Stick Figures. I wasn't directing the list war comment at you specifically, so I don't know. You said list war coming from John. I don't think John was list warring. I think he's giving.
No, I just think Stick Figures doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about.
No, I think he was referring to when you were listing exclusives from next year.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I mean, it's a fact. I mean, the PlayStation 4 right now has more exclusive games coming out next year that we know about. I mean, we could get a fucking E3 surprise next year, but the problem is that, I mean, look at what they had at E3 this year. I mean,
I just want to say something quick. The whole list wars thing. This is the thing that kills me. And John, you're right. I mean, PS4, we know about the exclusives, whatnot. But this is the part that kills me. People get upset when you mention exclusive content on PS4. They get upset. And it's like, why are you getting upset? If you're going to get upset at anyone, and I will use you as an example, John. Don't get upset at John. Get upset at Microsoft.
Well, I want to point out, I don't support third-party exclusivity. You guys know this. I think the Destiny bullshit with the timed exclusivity on fucking strikes and weapons, that's fucking garbage. That is garbage, anti-consumer bullshit, and it needs to fucking stop. I don't think Enrique, you've heard me say, I don't think Spider-Man should be a fucking first-party exclusive. It's a third-party game. Let Xbox players play it. Let PC players play it. The more people that get to play games, the better.
Facts.
It's better for everybody. So that's why the list wars are fucking stupid. Like, oh, we got the exclusives, baby. Fuck you. Everybody should, barring a first party game like Gears of War, where Microsoft owns the rights. That's total. Uncharted, fucking Naughty Dog is owned by Sony. Get it? I got it. But if you're sitting here cheering third party exclusivity because you think it contributes to some non-existent fucking war, fuck you. Grow up.
Hey, I just want to say something real quick. Stick Figure, John is not losing his mind because with a hate campaign on PUBG. I mean,
hate campaign.
Yeah, I think that's a little ridiculous to even say that. To be honest with you, I mean, it's a video game. I don't think he is.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking forget about this conversation in 5 minutes. I'm getting drunk.
Oh my god! All right, so yeah, so you know what? One thing that I noticed that I thought was kind of interesting the last couple of weeks, and as we got closer to the pre-order for Xbox One X, and I go back to the PlayStation 4 Pro. Obviously, the PS4 Pro reveal by all stretch of the imagination was boring. I didn't think it was a good show at all.
Wait, which one?
The PS4 Pro reveal.
Oh god, dude, that was a snoozer.
Yeah, that was snooze fest. But you know what's interesting though? It's like, and I noticed this, and I'm sure you guys have too. I mean, I think this is pretty obvious, but Sony really didn't kind of pound its chest about the Pro as much as Microsoft's been doing about the Xbox One X. And I bring that up because I've seen some people complain about the coverage of Xbox One X, maybe feeling like it's not getting its just due. And I think part of that has to do with perhaps Microsoft kind of setting the bar high for this console. What do you guys think about this?
Say that again. Sorry, I'm trying to solve a puzzle on Uncharted. Okay, come on.
Eric, why don't you go, man?
They are putting a lot into this because it is important to them. This is their chance to reboot and recapture all the ground they've lost this gen. I don't think anyone expected the Switch to blow up the way it did. I don't think Microsoft.
Oh, I did.
Well, I don't think to this level. I'm sorry. We all even.
I didn't think it was going to blow up like this.
I expected to do well, but not this well. Where Microsoft is suddenly staring at a third place month after month. This is their chance to switch that.
I see what you did there. I see. Why don't we switch? That's smacking noise.
Whackity schmackity. But no, I just and I think it's working because just in the sense that no one's talking about Xbox in the same way they were earlier this year. It's now focused on the One X. And if that ends up being a success for them, then they'll finally have that pendulum shift in perspective.
Swift?
Yeah.
They're going to shift the pendulum?
They're going to shift.
They're going to shift it.
Swifty.
I love you, buddy.
All right, Eric, what are your thoughts on this? John's trying to solve a puzzle.
No, I'm done now. I'm done now.
I want to get Eric's perspective.
No, please go ahead.
On what the X could mean for Microsoft?
Yeah, just like the fact that they've really kind of been advertising, marketing this more than Sony did with the Pro. Are you?
No, I think Matt kind of hit it on the head. It's kind of like, for all intents and purposes, they listen to, I kind of feel like a portion of the base. I don't think they listen to the entire base, but that's beside the point. But this is definitely, something that they're trying to use to make noise with. And yeah, like Matt said, if it does well, and I wanted to do very well because, no one needs, Sony having the lead and not really feeling any pressure, having anything like pushing them.
Absolutely.
I agree.
So, so however you feel about it, you wanted to do well. But
competition is so good for everybody.
Absolutely.
Well, go ahead.
I was saying last gen, one of the best things PlayStation ever did was PlayStation Plus. And that only existed because they were getting their ass stomped by Xbox. And this generation, Microsoft has come out with service after service, which I guarantee you, if they were first place and were dominating like the 360 was in America, we would not have Game Pass. We would not have EA Early Access. They would not have pushed backwards compatibility as much as they did. They wouldn't be pushing any of their services like games with gold. They wouldn't have needed to counter that. All of these amazing services the Xbox One gives their users are almost direct results of them being from a losing position this generation. And that's why competition is good, because it forces them to be hungry, forces them to be smart, and like cross play with the Switch, with Rocket League. If Microsoft was in the first place, they'd be pulling the same shit Sony is right now, being like, we don't need it.
Well, that's the thing. That's and that's what I was going to say is that the reason that Microsoft is throwing all their eggs into the Xbox One X basket, well, not all their eggs, but at least more, they're advertising it a lot more than Sony did the Pro, is because they need it more than Sony did. They didn't need. Sony's fucking running away with this generation. Whether you like it or not, they are. That's a fact. And Sony at this point is coasting. They're fucking coasting. And I personally, I would like to see Microsoft catch up, because I think Sony has implemented some very anti-consumer policies recently, and they've said, I think arrogant Sony is on the verge of coming back, and I think they need to be put in check.
Oh, don't say that.
I do. No, dude. Dude, look at Jim Ryan.
I know. Jim Ryan is.
Jim Ryan's a fucking turd.
Yeah.
I do love this about Jim Ryan is that he was such a shit storm at E3 that at Gamescom, the conference held in their own territory, his own territory. He wasn't allowed to give any interviews.
Good.
They put a muzzle on him.
Well, that's why I love when people say, John, you're a PlayStation fanboy. I'm like, have you heard me talk about PlayStation, bud? Like, do you look at my Twitter?
I just want to say something real quick. In case you missed it, John just mentioned, for those who think he's a fanboy, that Sony has recently implemented some anti-consumer policies.
Extremely anti-consumer. Like it's. Why
don't you elaborate, John?
Well, so like take for example, this is even a recent example. Take EA Access. It's a phenomenal program, right? But Sony says, no, you know what? We know what's good for you. It's not good for our players. Fuck you, Sony. Who are you to tell? I'm paying for your service. I'm paying for your console. Who are you to tell me what's good for me and what's not? I will decide what the fuck I need. I will decide what services are good for me. And the fewer options you give me, the less it makes PlayStation Network seem like an attractive option. Sorry, but that's the truth. I don't hold console loyalty. I go where I'm invested in the PlayStation Network because all my trophies are here, and I like a lot of the single player games. I do, but I also like my Switch more than I like my PlayStation 4. The Switch is my favorite console this generation because I don't have bias. I have preference, and preferences by their very nature change with the ebb and flow, just like the tide. So the Switch is offering me a more interesting, more innovative gaming experience this generation, and I wish I could play everything on my fucking Switch.
By the way, did you see they were showing at Gamescom? They were showing Skyrim on the Switch.
Fantastic! I'm picking it up.
Yeah.
I will play that anywhere I want to go. But yeah, Sony has implemented some extremely anti-consumer policies recently. I mean, everything that comes out of fucking Jim Ryan's mouth is anti-consumer. Like Play Anywhere or not Play Anywhere, crossplay.
Crossplay.
Like look at his statements on crossplay. Well, just fucking do it, Sony. Give me more options to play. You know, like Microsoft's doing it, Nintendo is doing it, and for Jim Ryan to say we're protecting our consumers, fuck you, Jim Ryan, and fuck you, Sony. Like, I don't need you to protect me. I'm a 37-year-old Marine. I don't need you to fucking protect me from shit. like get the fuck out of here, dude. Nintendo, the company that still operates on friend codes because they're afraid for the children, is implementing crossplay. Get with the fucking times, Sony. Come on, grow the fuck up. Getting back to what I was saying, I mean, what the fuck was I saying? Yeah. That's fucking. Yeah, I mean, Sony
blacked out.
Microsoft doesn't need, or Microsoft needs that a lot more. They need the Xbox One X to or they just need to succeed, period, a lot more than Sony does right now. Because Sony's coasting. They're coasting. And that's just the way it is. And I for one, wish there was a lot more competition between Xbox and PlayStation 4 because competition breeds excellence.
What's your take on the announcement or the rumor, I guess, that Microsoft is right now in talks to finally implement crossplay?
I don't expect it to go anywhere because Sony's a bunch of fucking idiots.
I'd like to think so, because my belief is that with every game that the developers say we have crossplay ready, but Sony's stopping us, the heat gets more and more until they finally relent. That is my hope and my dream.
Did that just come out recently again, Matt? Another developer said that?
Yeah. Oh, shit. What developer was it? It was a game that just came out. And
they have it running. They're like, we have it running, but Sony's not giving us the green light.
Right. Oh, damn it.
What is it?
It was a game that just came out, and they were like, we have crossplay ready to go, but we just can't do it.
Wizland's saying it's Ark. Corey Dillon said it's Ark.
Maybe it is
okay.
It is Ark, yeah.
I don't know, man. These are the points where I wish gamers would band together instead of against each other and downplaying everything that these companies do. And
message.
That's never gonna happen.
It's not. It's never gonna happen. But it's just one of the things that aggravate me the most is when people like just defend like everything that their favorite company does.
Yeah, we got people in chat. We got people in chat doing that tonight.
Right. Well, I want to kind of touch on what Matt just said a moment ago in chat. He said, like Microsoft has a moment like where they can capitalize if they go at it hardcore. And I'm kind of like, they can, but they really need to start addressing the other part of the base. It's like you answer the people who are fixated on, resolution. Not everybody is. You have a part of the base that has been begging and screaming, like, please answer the call. I would like to see more first party like content from you, single player content. Include me in this whole process. And
what will make these iterative consoles, Eric, a lot more. I
hate these iterative consoles.
I don't like them either, but I'll tell you what. What would impress me a lot more is if, I can count on like the PS4 Pro. I can count on one hand with less than 5 fingers the amount of games off the top of my head that give you a choice between maximizing resolution or frame rate. That's what I want. Okay, prettier graphics, great. But you know what? If I can play, I would rather play Uncharted 4, for example, in the single-player campaign in 1080p at 60 frames a second than I would at 4K 30 frames a second. I would. I give me my frames. I want my frames.
Facts.
So I can, like I said, I can count on one hand the amount of games that actually let you do that on the PS4 Pro, and I don't expect anything a whole lot different from the Xbox One X. And that, if you want to impress me with these iterative consoles, do that. Give me more. If you want to talk about more ways to play, then that's what these were sold at. Oh, it'll give you more ways to play. No, it won't. It'll give you a slightly prettier box to play on.
Yeah.
If you want to give me more ways to play, give me more options give me more gameplay options.
Right. And what's funny, John, you say that because Enrique asked me in DM one day, he said, do you think like Sony and Microsoft are exploiting the 4K thing? I said, they absolutely are exploiting the 4K thing because it's an easier thing to exploit and deliver.
Yeah, it's a higher number.
Push those frames per second at us.
No, but people see 4K. It's more than 1080p, so The assumption is it's better. And like, after, we get to talk about Fame's video. So I've been kind of back and forth on the Scorpio. I was going to get it, then I wasn't going to get it. And then I did the GameStop flip, which actually is happening again, by the way, right now as we speak.
Wait, hold on. They're doing that promotion again?
Yeah. We got a whole spread,
which means it went well for them.
We got a whole spreadsheet right now that I can send to you.
Send it. I want it.
Yeah, no, I'll send it to you. Compliments of Mr. Al Alcoholicos. Thank you.
Yeah, he actually unblocked me on Twitter. That was nice.
I'm glad you guys are talking again.
Well, we're not talking again, but at least he unblocked me.
Oh, okay. At least you guys.
That's a whole other ball of wax. So I don't want to get into it.
Yeah. So I was, so I was kind of back and forth, and I was gonna, buy the Scorpio with the flip credit I got because I had like $500 whatever in credit, and I figured, well, why not? And then Fame's video came out, and Fame kind of gave you like 5 reasons why you should wait, and they all kind of made sense. And then it kind of made me think, okay, I don't have a 4K TV, right? I think we talked about this last week, so I have to go out and buy a new 4K TV, which is like, I'm probably gonna end up spending like $1,200-$1,300 for, well, probably anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 on a 4K TV. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna buy the big lots, 55-inch 4K special.
Big lots.
I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna. You guys.
Are you sure you don't want a Westinghouse?
Yeah, I don't want a Westinghouse. I don't want to. I see people. Oh, you get a $400 4K TV. I'm like, it's a piece of shit. Don't buy it.
You don't want an Element. You don't want that Element.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't want an Element. Yeah, I don't want to.
No, it's not an Element. It's Sony Guts.
Yes.
This is what you want, my friend.
Yeah, this is what you want, my friend.
Used to hear that shit in fucking Afghanistan all the time, dude. People selling you like a fucking, what's a Hasagawa? No, he's not Hasagawa. He's Panasonic inside. Trust me, my friend. Trust me. This is the one you want.
So, and then I started thinking about the whole 4K thing, and it's not like it's not like they're marketing this thing as native 4K. No one is saying native. You hear true 4K, dynamic 4K. And then I'm thinking, okay, you want $500 from me. You want me to go out and buy a 4K TV. I'm probably, $1,700, $1,800 to the hole at this point, right? True. And I'm not going to get native 4K all the time. And I'm like, they're trying to finesse me. And I'm like, you know what? I can wait. I can wait till a next-gen console comes out. And by the way, I heard someone on Twitter I was talking to this week said, "Oh, there's no such thing as console generation." Actually, John, I think you commented in that Twitter thread. I think.
We're beyond generations, my man.
Yeah, and so, but look, there's going to be a PS5. That's going to happen, and it's going to be a new console.
It's going to be an Xbox, whatever they call it.
Xbox 2.
There's going to be an Xbox 2. Those things are coming. So. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to hold out because I'm not even getting true 4K, and we didn't even get true 1080p for the most part. Like John, I agree with you. I would have been happy had they said, you know what? We're going to give you these consoles, and they're going to be 1080p. You're going to get games 60 frames a second.
I would have been happy if they just said, we're going to give you these consoles.
Yeah, you're right.
Because nice people we are.
Considering you already paid, $400 fucking for one, we're going to give you another one because this is the one you should have had to begin with.
Yeah, that's why I started laughing at, and I think most of us did when they were like, this whole 4K 60 on console started being touted. I'm like, when did we hit 1080p 60? When did we lock that down? But you're telling me you're going to jump from where we've been to this and nail it? Come on.
And by the way, I just want to say something. Like, if you're excited about the Scorpio, the Pro, I'm not saying you shouldn't be. I'm just. Me personally, just my feelings on it.
No, you should be excited. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but at the same time, if we're going to have a talk about it, people shouldn't get bent out of shape either.
Yeah, it is what it is. I don't know. I think that there's probably a much smarter way or a much better way that Microsoft could have marketed the Xbox One X. I don't know. I mean, do you want me to guys give you an example?
Sure.
I think, for example, I think if Microsoft had come out at E3 or come out at Gamescom and been like, once again, it's time. You've been playing on disgusting 1080p for 3 years.
Are you
But now,
experience
true power.
Yes.
Witness the terrifying pixels.
Okay. But I want to know what throws me off is this is the first generation where we truly seem to have this mentality that the more powerful system is the best. Because the PS2 was the top selling one and it was the weakest of all three. The Wii was the best selling one and it was the weakest of all three. The PS3 is more powerful than the 360 and that didn't stop it.
The power confuses me, Matt, because
I mean, Matt, example after example after example.
Matt, historically, the most powerful consoles have not always been the best consoles.
I mean, look at the PS2.
Yeah, but for some reason, people have this mentality that now that the One X will run multi-platforms better, it's going to be the magic cure.
You don't even know that it's going to run multi-platforms better, and I'm sure Stick Figure will fucking flip out. But
come on, man.
You know, the thing is, like, you know, just because something is more powerful doesn't mean it's going to run a game better. Because we have a little thing in games, and you know, if you're like Stick Figure, you probably don't know shit about what goes into making games. We have a thing we like to call optimization, right? Look at the PC, right? Look at the way, for example, Arkham Knight ran on PC. It was such a fucking shit show on even the most powerful PCs that they had to pull it off shelves and stop selling it. They had to stop selling it because it ran like fucking garbage on PCs. And it didn't matter how powerful your PC was. It didn't matter how many teraflops you were coming off the top rope with your fucking teraflop. Like it just was not optimized well to run on that particular platform. It just wasn't. And it's not just Arkham Knight. I mean, there was another one just last year. What was that? What was it? Another PC game that they had to pull off the fucking. I think Battlefield 1 ran like shit on PCs. I mean, just because that's why I don't understand the power narrative. I would rather have a well optimized game in 1080p. Look at Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is in 1080p, and it is it's not 4K, it doesn't look like Uncharted, but it is it has some of the most amazing art direction I have seen this gen. It looks like you're playing an oil painting. And there is care and attention that went into every detail of that game. It's not just about visuals, it's about being immersed in that world, and it's about being part of that world and feeling like the world is alive and feeling like, you know, it's just this power shit. Like Rise, Son of Rome and Killzone looked amazing, but they were shit games. They're garbage. The Order 1886 is probably still one of the best looking games this generation, and it fucking put me to sleep. Who gives a shit about power? Power doesn't mean shit. So if you're running out to buy a new console simple for the sole reason, and I know some of you guys are getting Xbox One X's, and I know this isn't the reason you guys are getting them, but if your mentality is, well, the Xbox One X is more powerful, so it's going to be the best system, you fucking lost the plot.
Mm-hmm. Well, Mikey Barr said there's no power greater than X.
Jesus.
Which is not really a great slogan, anyway, but whatever.
Actually, the best slogan, because it's catchy, it's memorable, and it's nonsensical, which means it doesn't matter if it's true or not. You can't disprove.
Okay, I'll give you that, man. That is very good marketing speed. And very good advertising.
That's where I come from it. From a marketing slogan, it's in your head, and that's what matters.
Mm-hmm.
Short, sweet, easy to remember.
I always end up approaching it from that angle because, yeah, it's stupid. But you know what else was stupid? The name Wii for a console.
I'll still never understand that one.
But then it just becomes so ubiquitous with your culture and lexicon that it doesn't matter. It just becomes, it's no longer what a stupid name. Why didn't they keep Revolution? It's just the Wii. Okay.
It's the Wii, yeah.
Now, the Wii U was a monumentally terrible name, but for various other reasons. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, speaking of Nintendo, the SNES Classic pre-orders went live, I think, like at 2 a.m.
God, don't get me started on that shit.
And I was asleep, and B-Money. Oh, B-Money's always a big shout out to B-Money in the live chat. He couldn't join us this evening, but he DM'd us like, I don't know, sometime, like early mornings or something. He's like, oh, SNES Classic's up. pre-order, and I wake up at like 7 in the morning, and I'm trying to pre-order. It's already sold out.
I pre-ordered one at Best Buy and got my cancellation today.
Oh,
Are you serious? They canceled it?
Oh, you serious?
Yeah, I was very sad.
What?
So I had somebody on Twitter reach out and say, "John, I pre-ordered 2. I was able to get 2. Do you want one?" I said, "No, keep it. I'm avoiding it on principle."
That's like, did you say power greater than games?
What's that?
What did he say?
Fastback said power greater than games.
What did he say? What did he say that? Oh, wait. Hold on.
So
I don't see this in the power's always been. He said power's always been bragged about.
In marketing, again, in marketing
speak, and by insane fanboys, sure, you brag about power, but I'd rather just play a good game. Final Fantasy VI is still a better game than 90% of games out there today.
Not better than Final Fantasy VII.
Yes, it is, and it's a 16-bit pixel game. But
that agrees with me.
But well, I mean, you're wrong. That's fine. I don't want to be wrong. But the whole Super Nintendo Classic thing. It's I think what really makes me angry about it is that it is evident by what happened with the NES Classic. It's like Nintendo. People want your products. I want your products. Let me buy them. I want to give you my money. You're not letting me. Fucking pre-orders for that thing went live at 2 a.m. Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't get that.
Are you fucking kidding me? And people fucking Nintendo, and here I am not being a fanboy again, fucking Nintendo apologists say, "Oh, don't blame Nintendo. I actually saw this being argued on GAF. Don't blame Nintendo. They want it to be a legit rarity and a nice collectible." Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No, what it is Nintendo playing games with your wallet and dangling something in front of you and playing people like puppets. And the puppet strings are made out of fucking coins. I'm not gonna dance to that fucking tune. I don't care how much I want a Super Nintendo. Even if I come across one, I don't fucking want it.
Matt's trying to chime in real quick.
Go ahead.
Hey, guys, you remember when Fame had to leave real quick?
Yes. You have to leave.
For various reasons. I'm being summoned.
I've actually got to get going too.
I saw the door open.
Yeah, sorry, that's the cue.
Yeah.
It's always a pleasure to be to cameo on your show, guys. Thank you.
Sorry, but Stick Figures, did anybody get disrespectful? I didn't see anybody being disrespectful. I mean, the chat kind of goes back and forth discussing things, but if somebody got disrespectful, point them out. We'll definitely block them.
What happened?
Stick Figures saying that there's Sony fanboys in the chat making comments. We don't say shit. I didn't see anybody being disrespectful.
I haven't seen anybody, but if I see anybody being disrespectful, even a Stick Figure, I'll block them.
Exactly. So if you can point them out, we'll block them and make sure. But if they're just in there having a chat back and forth.
Yeah, I think it was B Money.
Somebody's causing trouble as per usual.
No, but thank you guys again, and I hope to pop in again next week or something.
Matt, we need to do like a podcast, greatest RPGs of all time.
Well, I mean, why have a podcast to just say Final Fantasy VI?
Final Fantasy VI is the answer.
What is the? I just think it's like a long way to go to come to the same answer, guys.
Oh my, I can't deal with that. Okay.
But no, I would love to.
Final Fantasy VII is great, but it has
I'll break it down.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace.
See you tomorrow, man.
All right, Matt. See you, Matt.
Yeah, Matt.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I've seen some ridiculous comments about the whole Nintendo thing and people rationalizing this whole thing, and someone saying, "Oh, well, they don't know what the demand's going to be like for this." I'm like, yeah, they do because of the NES Classic. Hello, so. It's frustrating.
And again, it's anti-consumer.
No, I agree. I agree. Eric, what are your thoughts, man? Before we wrap up.
I'm sorry. Well, I was so about what? I missed what you said last.
We were talking about the leaked nude photos of Tiger Woods and his ex-girlfriend, Lindsey Vonn.
I didn't see those.
No.
Hold on, there were leaked photos of Lindsey Vonn. I'll be right back.
Yeah, they're probably taken down though.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I'm not perfect.
Yeah, John, I'll have to. We'll chat later.
No, I want to know.
Yeah. I'll send you the link. I'm just kidding.
I'm fine.
I'm kidding. I'm totally joking. No, we're just talking about the SNES pre-order. John's saying it's anti-consumer, how Nintendo's kind of handling this thing and whatnot. So,
man, I mean, we've been here with them how many times, and it absolutely is. You know, it's like the ultimate troll. It's like the ultimate, you know. But I don't know. I guess until we really start speaking with our wallets, are they going to keep doing it? Do they care? But no, absolutely. I mean, that's anti-consumer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody can say it's not. You know.
Yep. But, you know, but yeah. I mean, I know people scream about anti-consumer, but you know, on like things that Microsoft does and Sony does, and it's just the culture we live in. I mean, there's certain things you can accept, certain things you can't, but you can call it out for sure. I mean, look at Apple. I mean, they basically decided no one needed a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack.
Yeah, that's.
I do when I can't find that stupid headphone.
I don't even talk about that. I remember people attacking Shinobi over that because he's like, "Hello, people! Like we're in 2017, 16. Like this is a standard feature now."
Yeah, you know, and I mean, it's how it goes. I mean, it's why, you know, Microsoft is really eating Apple's lunch when it comes to laptops now. You know, Apple does some really anti-consumer shit when it comes to like their computers and laptops, and you know, so it happens. But Nintendo that's some straight. There's no reason for this. No reason at all.
I agree.
As to why, you know, you can't just walk in and buy one, you know, or why there's this major shortage, why you send everyone around on a frenzy. And also, you know, we'll talk more anti-consumer companies because, I mean, all corporations have their anti-consumer way. I mean, GameStop, you know, they get a few things in and then they start bundling it and forcing you into that.
GameStop.
You know? Yeah. So, but no, John's absolutely right. It's bullshit. It shouldn't be happening. And I'm kind of a mind, like, I know I just got a Switch. I enjoy my Switch, but I'm kind of a mind where I'm just like, you know what the hell, that SNES Mini.
Dude, I'm already there. I don't want one.
B Money says Nintendo's sitting back.
He's absolutely right. He's absolutely right.
B Money, you were absolutely right. Hey, B Money, are you the one doing the fanboy nonsense in the live chat?
I haven't. I am looking, and I have not seen any fanboy nonsense.
I didn't. Yeah.
So I'm just assuming that people are getting butthurt over stupid shit.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the podcast because we have gone through all our topics for the evening. John, thank you again, man. Always a pleasure.
Oh no, dude. Like I said, I'm sorry I have not been on in a while. You know, and it's just one of those things where just Wednesday night's a bit difficult for me recently. But I saw that you were shorthanded, and I didn't want to. You know, I didn't want to be hanging. Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, and
I do want to say one thing. I know what I just said. Like, I'm kind of at a point where I might not even want one, but I know I'll have to be at Walmart midnight, September 29th.
No, not me. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. No, honestly, I'm just gonna. I'll download a fucking ROM before I get a fucking Super Nintendo price.
You know what? I've heard a lot of people saying that too. You know what? Fuck it. I'll get a ROM on my phone and play the same games.
I'm not going to be strung around. You know, I'm not going to be played for a fool, but I do need to get going. You know, it's just I guess I'll in closing. Once again, it's time to end the podcast. The nights are over. I've had a good time hanging out with everyone and speaking with you about games and fanboys and teraflops. But now the hour is late, and I must rest. So once again, I bid you farewell, and hopefully I shall return when next we meet. Until that time, goodbye.
Oh my god, dude, that is hilarious. That's hilarious. If there's a Pyre sequel, you should be on it.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's too funny. Well, John, we'll see you guys tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
He's gone.
Oh, he's gone. Okay. Yeah. Well,
that was his outro.
Okay, so SDGC tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And by the way, we had I forget how many people we had here. Fame was right. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. And subscribe if you haven't done so already. So, We are not having a podcast next week. I'm on vacation. I'll be gone the entire week, so no Brat podcast. Sorry, guys. But there may be another rant incoming, Eric.
All right.
Yeah, so look out for that. It might. It's gonna deal with media bias again. I'll be talking about that topic again.
So hot button topic.
Yeah, you know, it just
favorite.
Yeah. So I don't know when I'll be doing that, but yeah, it's you definitely gonna want to hear this.
Bring that sermon to the people, man. The people need that sermon.
Oh, I'm gonna be preaching in this next rap rant. I'm gonna take him to church.
Say it with your chest.
Yep, exactly. So big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Fastback, Corey Dillon, and Nate, Stick Figure. Who else? Witty Mass, Chicken, B Money, Wiz. I feel like I'm missing a bunch of other people too. J Street.
Everybody at Rock.
Yeah. If I didn't give you a shout out by name, I'm going to shout you out anyway. Thank you again for.
You get a personalized handwritten letter from Enrique.
Exactly.
On official BRAP stationery.
Official BRAP stationery. Yeah. So everyone have a great rest of the week. Enjoy your gaming time. And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks then. Remember, no Brat podcast next week. But yeah, Fastback said that the chat caught fire. It was very spirited conversation. Great conversations. Everyone's respectful. We can all have a difference of opinions as long as everyone's respectful. Yeah, so awesome stuff. But yeah, we'll be back in 2 weeks. And but in the meantime, there's probably gonna be another BRAP rant coming, maybe tomorrow or Friday. So keep an eye out for that. I'll tweet it out. So other than that, we'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. Peace. Oh, real quick, big shout out to Fame. Almost forgot Fame.
Oh yeah, thanks. Hey, Fame, thanks for coming through.
Yeah, Fame, thank you. And by the way, if you guys go to the description, I did post his Twitter handle. If you want to give him a follow, you can go to his Twitter profile and get links to his podcast. So definitely check him out. Inner Circle Podcast, Inner Circle Network. Great group of guys. B Money's part of the Inner Circle Podcast, and we had the Iron Lords on last week. They're also part of the Inner Circle Network. Inner Circle's taking over. That's pretty much what's happening right now.
Yep.
Yeah. So, all right.
Fame.
Fame. All right, everyone. We'll catch you guys in 2 weeks. Peace.